Good evening and bienvenue, my fond fair friends, family, and subscribers. This is your humble narrator, Diomedes Rouge, here to bring you yet another part of What If a Monster Hunter was sent to the world of Ruby. Now, where we last left off, Ignatius had a last stand against a horde of Grimm throughout the tunnels. And then something inside of him triggered and snapped. However, that is not where we are picking up our story. No. We are picking up our story 2 days later. At Beacon. For you see, the remainder of Team Igni, as well as Team Ruby, have been put on bereavement, as they had to witness their friend's demise, so to speak. Team Juniper tries to comfort them when able. Yang and Galen are, well, constantly in the gym, beating apart on poor, defenseless dummies. Blake and Natalia reading their books, trying to keep their mind off of the big oaf with a big heart who like to make things go boom from time to time. Ruby and Weiss trying to comfort everyone in their own special ways. But Eugene, he's been hard at work. Oh yes, he's been hard at work in his room. In fact, in his dorm, he has been keeping himself there for the entire 2 days that they've had, well, no classes, with very little rest and very little food. Constantly researching something on his, well, computer. As Yang and Galen get back into the gym yet again on the third day, pardon me, Yang asks Galen, Is Eugene doing okay? I don't know. He's on his computer all the time. He hasn't come out of that room in 2 whole days, going on 3 right now. I feel for him, but he was one of the closest ones to Ignatius around here. I think it's hitting him pretty hard. Especially considering we all made a promise to come back for him. He can't blame himself, right? He couldn't control what happened. You saw what they did. We were all there. They forced us back on the bullhead. Yes, I know, Yang, but he's taking it harsh. I think it's because Ignatius was one of the few people that actually believed in him. Well, either that or one of the few ones that made him accepted until the rest of us got to know him. Can you at least tell him I said hi? Sure, Yang. As all of a sudden, beep, 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 beep. Everyone in Team Ruby, Juniper, and Igni get a text from Eugene. As they all go, wait, what? Meet back Team Igni's room, now. Big meeting. Ignatius is alive. What? As they all start hauling tail straight there. as a few of them are pissed off, a few of them are curious, and a few of them are just going, "Are you okay?" To that, Eugene kind of goes, "Yes, and just trust me and wait." What do you mean? Okay. Now, you guys remember how Igni never knew how to set up a scroll, right? He never even had one before, right? Yeah. Well, remember who's the one who set up his scroll? You were. Exactly. And you also remember how once I showed him how the basic functions work and everything, he had us all equip these things with that he bought. Yeah, then he pulls out a little earpiece that has a wireless camera attached to it. He says, "Yeah, the recorders, they have a 12-hour battery life and are hooked up straight to our scrolls." Yes. Now, if you recall, the reason he did that was so he could examine all of our skills while we were fighting and see what we were lacking and needed to improve in. However, what you didn't know is that he also had one set on himself. Wait, what? What? Yes, because he wanted to make sure he himself didn't lose track of anything, but he didn't want to appear weak and, well, he didn't want to worry us that he might be feeling weak. Weak? As a couple of, well, Pyra, Nora, Yang, Gallon, Ruby, Weiss. I'll just say weak. He was worried about appearing weak. Yep. But the big oaf took it along with him on this journey, as well as he told us to take it on the rest of us. Wait, you know where he is? No. But I know he's alive, and I have a feeling I know how we can get back to him. How we can get him back. Or at least get to where he is. I think. What? Here, let me... It's easier to show rather than to tell. As he brings up his laptop. Wait. What do you mean? What's going on? Well, the video footage had to go somewhere. Guess where it goes? Here. All the video footage is sent back to my private laptop to be examined later. He kind of hated the tiny screen on the scroll. Made it harder for him to notice finer details, he said. And I didn't mind. And now I'm glad I didn't mind. Because a couple hours after we got back from that hellhole, well, this came up. Ulysses file 0015. Ulysses. Basically a code name he would use. Or a code name? Essentially it's something about an old hero from where he's from. That, well, trained hard or something. I don't know, you'll have to ask him. As he opens it up and activates it, or turns on the video. As it starts off with him going through the whole mission, talking with everyone, a few moments of him while he's scouting in private, humming to himself, a few private thoughts, blah blah blah, as he skips through up to the point to where he's, well, separated from the others. Ignatius, we're gonna get you... Relax. Go on. I got this. But I said go on. We'll meet up later. That's a promise. We'll hold you to that. As he takes off his... As he will... turns off his mic and just Goes, well, this is gonna be fun. And they see him pull out his dual blades and start going to work as he fast forwards through it. 5, 10, 15 minutes of him doing nothing but slaughtering the Grimm. Over and over, they see him go completely buck wild, ripping and tearing these things apart. After he drinks a few potions or tonics to catch himself back up, he just keeps going after them again and again, ripping and tearing until his blades break. And then his armor is soon to follow. The crazy things even knock off his mask that he was using as he begins to tire. They can't hear a word he's saying, but they can see it all. Why can't you pull up the audio? He turned off the mic, remember? Guess he thought he turned off the camera as well, but it runs off of a different power source. Okay. This is the moment I want you all to see. As they all start to swarm Ignatius. As right before the crowd in their room starts turning away, a bright green light begins to fill the screen. And I do mean a bright green light. As next thing you know, a very, very big and red creature pops up out of the horde and starts ripping and feasting upon them, slashing them apart with his claws, biting into their necks and slinging them around, running along the walls to slash and dash across the enemies like they were nothing. And they're getting a first-person view at this thing, and they're going, Is that Ignatius? Yeah, I think that's a semblance. But he said he didn't have a semblance. I think he just got pushed hard enough to activate it. What? Remember what he said. He said that where he's from, they activate the hunter's instinct. Their aura. But none of them have ever used a semblance. Why? Maybe due to the armor and the weapons they use, they haven't had a need to use it. So they've kind of buried it deep down inside. But maybe, just maybe, if they're pushed beyond all physical things, beyond any normal means, they can push through and activate something. And I think this is his. Because if you remember, he said something about a large red canine, like his armor was. And that thing definitely looks like a large red canine. So you're saying, yeah, he's ripping and tearing these things apart. As the camera falls off his face finally, as the Odogaron does a violent shake. And they get to see the full look of this creature with the very long jaw, with the very big and long maw, filled with dagger-like teeth, the double rows of claws designed for ripping and rending flesh from bone, the dark red colorations on its body, almost as if it's made of a chitinous material. And oh, how large it is. Yeah, it is. Kind of glad the audio's cut. I did not want to hear that thing. Yeah, it's hard to believe that's Ignatius. Poor Igni. As they all kind of turn to Pyra there for a moment, be like, what was that? Look at him. He's not it's like he's not even him. What do you mean? He's not like that. He's more precise. I think he activated it after he went unconscious. Or activating it caused him to go unconscious. But he has no control over that. It's wild instinct. You can tell by the muscle movements. Yeah. Kind of weird. But just before they get too consumed by that, it says, so we're looking for a giant red dog that survived the cave-in? No. We're looking for that. As it hits the marked number and the number marker, and, well, a violent burst of green energy comes forth from behind Ignatius as it begins to amass and swirl until a giant green circle appears as Ignatius, in his Odogaran form, takes a big breath in, tilts his head off to the side, and then charges straight through, followed by a large horde of Grimm following suit to try and chase after their prey. At that point, after a couple of minutes, it shuts, cutting some Grimm in half in the process, as then finally the cave is collapsed in. Oh, the poor, poor thing. As the camera is instantly crushed along with the falling rocks and rubble. So he's alive. Yeah. But wait, why didn't you guys go back for him if you thought he was... We thought the cave-in got him. That's what we were told. We tried to go back before him sooner than that, but... the evacuation personnel pulled us out, unwillingly. As soon as we got near the bullhead, they started evacuating us after we told them what happened. After we told them we left someone behind, they didn't care. They kept us from going back down there. I tried. I truly did. Eugene states. But after all the damage we took, after all the walking and running and fighting, we were exhausted. We couldn't put up much of a fight against these guys, and they just moved us all in. But now we know where they're located, and now we can go get him. What do you mean go get him? He went into a giant green portal thing. Yes, and I have a way, and I think I have a way we can get it open. What? What? Think about it. That thing reacted to his energy, or it came from the same type of energy he was using, or it was a side effect of the energy that was there whenever he first came here. But they have both emitted a similar energy. How can you tell that? I did a light scan. Oh. Sorry? I did a light scan on it, and they both gave off the same type of frequency. See, as he shows in a graph. It's not exact. In fact, it's a long shot, but it gives me hope that it is likely that it's the same type of energy that they're using, that these things are giving off. So come on. Are y'all with me? As Gallon stands up and just says, all right, we made a promise to the crazy bastard, and he would do the same thing for us. Team Igni, let's rock. Says, hold it. What now, Eugene? Simple. We can't do this alone. What do you mean? Did you not hear the stuff that he said about his home? How the creatures there are more dangerous than some of the stuff we have here, some of the grim we have here? Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I'd rather not wind up becoming dino poop. Okay? Fine. So what do you suggest? Simple. All of us. We all go. We all launch. We all get to exactly where he is. And then we try and get to where, then we try and open up that portal before we get, well, caught. And how do you plan on getting there to begin with? We try and take a bullhead. If we try and take a bullhead, we're going to get found out easily. But it would take too long anyways. No, what we're going to do is do something a lot more risky. Risky? I like risky. You read my mind. I'm in. Yang and Nora chime. Be like, good to hear. All right, Eugene, what's your plan? Simple. You know our lockers, right? And he says with a big grin on his face. He says, I don't have a good feeling about this. Let's bring the big idiot home. Pyra states as they all, get ready to enact Eugene's plan. As everyone follows suit. Now, what is Eugene's plan, you may ask? Well, simple. That recording came from a certain point, and he has the exact coordinates of that point. And the weapon lockers, they can dispatch virtually anywhere. So, yeah. He sets up the coordinates for them, overrides their safety protocols, and basically each and every one of them stuff themselves inside their own lockers. As he presses a button and they all launch. And boy do I mean they all launch. As well, in about a minute and a half time, they land at their destination. Roughly. Thump, 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 thump. Each one of the lockers impacting the ground hard. As some of them are smart enough to bust out and get out of the lockers before impact and crashing. The others, they just use their aura to try and absorb the impact. It's a rough landing nonetheless. But they do all make it, a few bruised bones and all. As, alright, here it is, Eugene states. We better get moving quick. Knowing Beacon, they're more likely right on our tail. But given our quick escape and, lack of strategy, it should take them half an hour at minimum to catch up to us. Let's move, people. As, what do you want us to do? What do you mean what do you want us to do? We dig. Dig. We gotta get to where Ignatius was. Didn't they excavate that area trying to look for his body? No, they only sonar pinged it looking for his corpse. They couldn't find it after they cleared enough debris to get down far enough. We need to get that thing down farther. As well, they begin to smash and break apart the rocks, tossing them aside, moving them, trying to get to exactly where Ignatius was. As Eugene says, "Hold it! I'm getting a reading," as he brings out his scroll. "Wait, what did you do?" "I told you, I work tech. I've figured out a way to track the thing's energy signature, and this is looking like it's leading right to the place. Or rather, looks like this is the place where they took off." "Okay. Here goes. Well, now we just have to do this." As he opens up his backpack and, well, takes out a couple of energy cells. "Wait, what are you doing?" Jury-rigging an energy displacer. Energy displacer. Energy travels through a current, one form or another. Basically, what I'm doing is making it to where this energy gets siphoned off quicker into, well, the air. It won't look like it's doing much, but if there's something here that will resonate with it, and if I get it on the right frequency, it should work. Should. It's better than nothing. Okay. I want to bring the big bastard home. Who knows what he's going through? And I don't even know if that thing led to his home. For all we know, he could be scattered somewhere completely different and still being chased by those Grimm. This is the best shot we got. And if I told you it was a maybe, you may not came along. As Gallon smacks him upside the back of the head. "Ow, what the..." "Listen. I've got your back. Alright? We're on the same team, same side. We're not backing down from this. I know you're worried, so am I. So get to working point, Dexter. Whatever you say, jockstrap." Asshole. As, well, he sets up the rig. And sure enough, he gets something reacting as the small swirls of energy begin to form and dissipate and form. As he's going, "Crap, crap, 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 crap. What's the matter, Einstein? There's not enough energy in these cells." "What? There's not enough energy in these cells. They aren't pouring out as much as they could." "Screw it, I'm going to have to go with plan B." "There's a plan B?" "Yep." As he reaches his hands out to each of the cells. "If I can't override it using standard energy, well, let's hope my aura is good enough." "Wait, what?" As he begins to focus and dump his aura into the batteries. As, well, the energy begins to somewhat stabilize. As a small portal begins to form. And Eugene begins to fade in and out of consciousness until Jean runs up and basically just kind of knees him out the way. He says, "What the hell, Jean?" As Eugene lands and gets back up, as Jean says, "You're not cut out for this, but I am. Ignatius was the only one who bothered to give me a chance. One of the few people that I could call a friend, and he trained the hell out of me. Granted, his methods were brutal and bastard-like, but..." As he begins to form a large amount of yellow energy around his body and grab a hold of the cells, "it sure as hell did work." As he dumps a metric ton of energy into these batteries, and I mean a metric ton, as suddenly the portal is forced wide open. And, well, "Go on in. I don't know how long I can hold it." As everyone just floods straight on in, as Jean is the last one to go, whoop. And lucky timing, too, because the bullhead was coming straight in. And upon their landing, oh boy, they land right in front of, well, from what they can tell, a scaly, blue and yellow, somewhat furry wolf that looks very, very, very annoyed at them. Hi. Do you know where we could find a guy known as Ignatius? As this thing just lowers its massive head and looking down at them, realizing that it really does dwarf them in comparison. That this one creature's head is about the size of, well, half of their torso, half of their body. Is it just... And yeah, they all start taking off. And I mean taking off like a scalded dog, they take off. Oof. Hoo-wee. Shut your mouth, slap your grandma, they take off. They are running full speed from this creature as it is charging and leaping towards them as they're going, okay, bad idea, bad idea, bad idea. Eugene's going, I know. This is not my best plan, but I did not know it would lead us to that thing. As they all keep running and running and running, as eventually say, well, what do? We can't outrun this thing forever. We have no idea where we're going. So I said, well, we can either turn and fight or keep running from the thing we have no idea about. As that's whenever, well, they hear a very, very loud boom, 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 boom. As several loud shots ring out and impact this wolf-like creature behind them. As this woman runs straight past them, uses, well, the slinger on her arm to launch herself off the ground by grappling onto the cave roof above her. And then coming down wielding, well, her heavy bow gun, point blank at this creature's head, blasting, well, a whole barrage into it, basically popping off the top. As she quickly holsters her weapon, walks straight over to these bunch of idiots, pulls something out of her pocket, and slams it on the ground right in front of them. As they're all surprised as this weird lady in strange armor similar to Ignatius's just dropped something at their feet that began smoking and then boom, spread out this weird smelling stuff that just made them feel all sorts of icky as it sticks and coats them and their clothes and weapons. So going, what the hell? What was that for? And she says, shut up. I just saved your lives. Twice. That was deodorant. You reek. You don't smell like nature. You smell foreign. In case you don't know, if a creature smells something foreign in its area, guess what it does? It attacks. Are you all a bunch of newborns? How moronic can you all be? As that's when Natalia notices something. You look a lot like a friend of ours. What do you mean? Have you ever heard of a man called Ignatius? This woman stares dead at her and walks straight towards her. Where did you hear that name? Why, is something wrong? Where did you hear that name? Tell me. He's the leader of our team. Team? He hunts solo. He always has. The only time he's ever teamed up with someone was when he was with me. With you? Were you guys... No, I'm his sister. Wait, you're the sister? Jean states. What? Okay, I'm sorry. You're sorry. Because of me, your book got destroyed. Not the best time for that, Jean. Sorry, but she needed to know. Wait. Book? What do you mean? What? Who are you? As well. And how do you know my brother? They start introducing themselves. Eugene Shrike, member of Team Igni. Galen Bouchier, member of Team Igni. Natalia Gunn, member of Team Igni. As the next ones grow up. Ruby Rose, leader of Team Ruby. Yang Xiaolong, member of Team Ruby. Wei Shni, member of Team Ruby. Blake Belladonna, member of Team Ruby. And then, well... Nora just goes, Rin, Nora, Pyra, Jean. He's the team leader. Now, can we all stop getting friendly introductions and figure out what's going on? Because I don't want to come across another one of those things. As she begins to look at the decapitated corpse of the, wolf thing that she saw earlier. Be like, you were worried about the Zenogre? There's a lot stranger things running around here lately than the Zenogres. How do you all know my brother? And what do you mean team? As she begins, looks down and says, well, the slingers. That all of the team wears, and that Jean also has. Just wait. As she grabs Eugene's arm and lifts it up and examines it, and then goes to Galen's, and then goes to Natalia's, and then goes straight to Jean's, lifting it up. Those are all made by Ignatius. You're telling the truth. Where has he been for the last 6 months? 6 months? He's only been around us for a month. And even he says he's only been... What are you talking about? He disappeared 6 months ago after his team was attacked by a Nergigante. He dropped off the map. We thought he was dead. We tried searching everywhere for him. I was called in to search for him. I was told that my brother died. He's alive? I'm gonna kill him, she says with a bit of a teary-eyed smile. Where has he been? Well, to be fair, in another dimension, Eugene states bluntly, be like, what? What? Eugene! Look, it's the truth, and she's gonna find out eventually. We might as well tell her. Another what? Dimension. As you can tell from our looks, our clothing, our weapons, we're not from here. Especially considering we ran from that thing that apparently you dispatched quite easily. Oh no, it's quite tough. It's just we've seen some stranger things pop up lately. Black creatures with bone-like masks and a crazy Odo Garen. That's your brother. Wait, what? We'll explain everything. Can we please find a place to, lie low for a bit? Just follow me. As she leads them back to the base camp where, this little guy suddenly emerges. And when I say little, well, by, let's just say that's just an inside joke. As it immediately starts running up towards, well, her. Hey, Thor. Listen, I have some good news. Ignatius, it looks like he's alive. As it starts kind of just walking back, kind of pacing a little bit, and it says, "Why couldn't you have been like a normal palico and talk?" Are you mocking me? As he starts shaking his head. You know, Rye won't like that you're doing that. Oh. Can you please tell us your name? Sure. The name's Liliana. Liliana Reinhardt. And as you can guess, as I've told you, I'm Ignatius's twin sister. Wow. So please, tell me what's going on. As Blake says, well, about a month ago is the earliest I can remember your brother being spotted. Well, seeing your brother, and he was quite confused. What do you mean? Well, I met him while getting away from some bad people. He helped me out, actually. I gave him some information, and he told me a bit of his story. How he fell and wound up going through this weird green, well, portal thing, and popped out where we were. Where we are. Well, no, where we were. In our world. I see. But wait, you said a month ago. Did he say anything? No, he seemed like he legitimately just got there. I don't know. Time dilation, Eugene interrupts. Time what? Dilation. Basically, time where we're from is on a different spectrum of time as when they're from. So, a few months in our world may be a few years here. Or in this case, about less than a month. Well, a couple of months that Ulysses has been around us, maximum at that, has been over a year, has been almost half a year here, if not more, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So more than likely this is on a 4 to 6 times acceleration of time here than it is back at our own world. Meaning he's been around here for approximately 7 to 8 days by himself, stuck in his Odogaran form. What do you mean stuck in his Odogaran form? What? You see, where we're from, we have this thing called a semblance. It's a power that each hunter possesses in order to enhance their arsenal. And each one is, well, personal. It varies from person to person, as per personal. Mine allows me to locate anything or anyone within my range as long as I focus and concentrate on them. And it seems as if your brother's was able to trigger his. Power? What do you mean? I have proof. As she brings up the picture. Well, brings up a video on his scroll. what is this odd device? And you have moving pictures inside. It's called video. But yes, this is your brother. Well, one moment he's getting swarmed by creatures we call Grim. The next, he's quite literally turning into a creature he's described as an Odogaron. Oh my. Oh no. What is it? There's been a very strange and very powerful Odogaron running around lately. We thought it was he's been hogging up territory. He's been killing off most monsters and these new strange creatures that have been going near him. He's been scheduled to be culled. Culled? Remember what he said. Where he's from, they live in harmony with the monsters. They only kill what needs to be killed. Oh no. Meaning, there's a hunting party out for it right now. I didn't go because it was an Odogaron. Pardon me. My apologies about that. Minor intrusion. I didn't go because it was an Odogaron. It's something that I don't deal with personally because I have other things I have to take care of. I've been hunting elder dragons recently because of the outbreak. We need to stop them. If that's truly Igni, he could relax, calm down. It's your brother. Even if he's in a state like this, I'm pretty sure he'll be able to hold on until we get there. Especially with all of us. No, you don't understand. A hunter can't interfere on another hunter's grounds. We have to call the commission, pull them back. We'll tell you what. As Team Igni gets all their equipment and weapons and gets it all locked and loaded. Hey, Jean. Yeah? Would you mind splitting your team in half? Splitting our team in half? What for? You, Pyra, me, Gallon, and Natalia. We all go and interfere with this hunt and try and knock some sense into Igni. Meanwhile, Team Ruby and Ren and Nora escort and assist our esteemed guests getting back to the commission and knocking them and getting them to call off the hunt. But are you insane? You didn't even know how to handle as an ogre. How are you going to handle? I have an idea. We've been hunting monsters a bit differently here than there. But we still hunt monsters. And trust me, if worse comes to worse, Igni's taught us a few tricks. As Gallon says, besides, we owe the bastard one. He saved our skins. Least we can do is save his ass. As then Natalia pops up. I still have to kick his ass from what he did last go around. What did he do? He patted my head. Okay. Just be careful. They're located in the Emerald Vale. Here, let me show you. As well, our good friend Eugene takes a good picture of it. Says, thanks. Let's split up. For Igni! As they all put their hands in and wait for Liliana. As she puts her hand in and says, for Igni! They separate and begin to haul ass. As that's where I'll end it off here, guys. I hope you all had fun. Hope you all enjoyed everything. And please do tell me what you thought. Leave a comment if you feel like it. give me a positive or negative review with those like buttons. I don't take it personally. I just view them as criticism, and I don't mind. Oh, and just so y'all know, look me up on Twitter, Diomedes Rouge. Once I go on there, I'll look you up and let you know I'm there, and I'll respond back to you. Have fun. This has been a great adventure. Bye for now.